Street, Rochester.
Rochester's only NCAA Division II athletic scholarship program wants you. Our Life in the Balance approach to athletics will provide you with an opportunity to succeed in the classroom and in your sport while allowing you the time to be involved with your personal interests and even study abroad. The Redhawks compete in the East Coast Conference, and their student athletes excel in the classroom and on the playing field. If you're ready for the challenge of high-level athletics while earning a college degree that will prepare you for the future, visit robertsredhawks.com.
Why do businesses choose to move their website from Wix and Squarespace to SimpleTech Innovations? Maybe it's their excellent customer service or attention to detail. Maybe it's their ability to give a truly customized solution. Or perhaps they just like the fact that SimpleTech is a local small business that builds great relationships with its clients. Whatever the reason may be, you can rest assured knowing that the local team at SimpleTech has your best interest in mind when building or updating your website. They're hands-on and love helping customers achieve their goals. But don't take my word for it. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. If your website doesn't match your dreams or isn't achieving your goals, give the professionals at SimpleTech Innovations a call today for a consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. SimpleTech Innovations.
A free solution.
All right, welcome back to A Free Solution. I'm Kevin Wilson, your host today. Thanks again for joining us. We're here on WYSL live till 1 o'clock. And shout out down the line to our friends over at WACK out in Newark and WENY, the Patriot, down in the southern tier. And for my friends online, I'm so sorry I didn't press the stream button. So you guys missed section 1, but I'll post the podcast after. So just a reminder, you can always catch the podcast. Just any podcasting app, look up A Free Solution. All the episodes are there. You can look back at our entire catalog. Always a good place to find them. But, we're talking here with Mr. Donald Schwartz, who's the owner of Veneta Restaurant, and he is part of the lawsuit being brought against Governor Cuomo for forcing restaurants like his to close. And we're talking before the break about how this has affected him and his employees. And just to reiterate, all you're asking for is to be treated equally with the people who are the restaurants who are in the yellow zone. Like for me, I live in an orange zone. I can literally walk over to the yellow zone where restaurants are able to operate with fewer restrictions. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's accurate. I mean, it's not a orange zone, green zone, red zone. It's not. It's just more than that. The governors and the states own transmission numbers from restaurants and bars is 1.4%. And the numbers of just restaurants alone, take the bar factor out of it, which obviously you could see that, we're moving around a little more, we're a little tighter, we're hovering over a bar. You're going to get a little bit more of the 1.4% there. But even with that included, it's such a small number, and we've been shut down since before Thanksgiving. So, and the numbers keep rising. So obviously, it's not us. We're not the source of the problem. The state's own evidence say that a lot of the problem is coming from house parties. Almost 75% of it is. We actually might be able to help in that situation. People want to go out. People want to socialize. We just came through the holiday period. It's natural to want to go out to be served, as an alternative of getting together and house parties. Maybe you can come into a restaurant, sit down, dine safely, let us follow the CDC guidelines. That's all we want. We want the opportunity to reopen safely.
Yeah, absolutely.
We want the opportunity to bring our employees back. As I said, if people missed the first part of the segment, 90% of my employees in 2 restaurants, Gates, New York, here in downtown Rochester, are City of Rochester residents. Councilman Jose Pio is here today on our behalf. I reached out to the mayor of Rochester. I wanted to get her here and say, help us out. Help me, help my employees. We need to get back to work. We need bills to pay. And it's not just us. Our purveyors are also suffering. We go ahead and have our house wines, red and white, made locally. It costs in Largo. We were the first restaurant in this area to have them make a house wine product. I haven't put an order with them in months. We have a Tuscan bread that we have custom made that we'll bring out to the table for dipping. They haven't gotten an order from us. All across the board, the people I do business with, everything is dropped off.
That's so sad. And that's something a lot of people don't understand is it's not just the restaurants who are suffering from this, not just the employees there. It has a cascading effect. All the businesses that you buy from, too. It hurts them as well.
And for and for timing purposes here, I also, if you want to speak to the law firm that is repping us, is also still here in Rochester. If you want to get 5 minutes from the legal perspective, just for programming.
I would love that.
Okay.
They're with you?
Yep, they're here. Do you want to do that right now?
Yeah, bring them on.
Okay. I'm gonna move over here and put you on with the lead attorney from here's Corey.
Fantastic.
Hi, this is Corey Hogan.
Hi, Corey. Welcome to A Free Solution. Thanks for being here today.
Sure. How can I help?
Yeah. So, why don't you run us down with again the legal perspective here on what this lawsuit is based on, and again what you're hoping to accomplish here.
Are you talking about Buffalo, Western New York? Or are you talking about right here in Rochester?
How about both? You know, we have listeners in both areas. This station goes pretty far.
Okay. Well, the Western New York, the Buffalo action, there's about 70 restaurants that have brought an action against the state and its various subdivisions, such as the SLA and the health department, saying that the actual proof is to the contrary. It looks like it's clear right now that the restaurants should not be closed down because they are not the source of any kind of COVID-19 viral transmission. In fact, the governor himself has come out and said that the contact tracing that was done in September and October and November, when most of the restaurants were open, at least through November 16th, has shown that there's like 1.43% of viral transmissions are taking place at the restaurants, 74% are occurring within people's homes. So basically what that means is that it's probably safer to have a meal in a restaurant than eat at your own kitchen table. And when the governor says that the numbers are the numbers, and that's what you can rely on, we thought that at that point he would say, okay, we made a mistake. We need to let these restaurants get back open. But for whatever reason, that hasn't happened. And the restaurants are basically every day we lose one more on a permanent closure basis. They're having a very hard time existing. They have no income, and they have bills, and they have staff that they can't pay that they feel sick about, responsible about, because the staff have families and they're trying to take care of their own families. So it's a real mess. They've been closed down for about 5 out of the last 10 months. All they can do in our area, and it seems like the same here in the Orange and Rochester, is do takeout or outdoor dining. And outdoor dining in Buffalo right now and Rochester is not a real practical thing to be able to do. So it was our hope that if we brought the action, that the state and the governor would say, okay, yeah, let's get something done here. Let's get everybody back open. But they've basically been resisting it. So we're scheduled now in Buffalo to have an argument on Friday at, I think it's about 3:30 in front of Judge Nowak. And he's a Supreme Court judge that the action's in front of. And we'll be making arguments. The state will be there making arguments on their own behalf. And hopefully the judge will agree with us and issue what they call a permanent injunction preventing the state from keeping our clients closed. If that occurs, I don't know what that's going to mean to the other people that are not part of the lawsuit, whether the state at that point will say, okay, we're going to let everybody open, or whether I have no idea what the reaction would be.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. If the state just responded. Go ahead.
So with Rochester, they're in the same predicament. So we met here today to try to give them some kind of a understanding as to what's going on in Buffalo. And there's a number of Rochester restaurants that are also interested in getting open. They're all interested in getting open, and they want to know legally, how do we do this? What's the right way to get this done? And it would be done similarly to what's taking place in Buffalo. We're going to wait until Friday to see what Judge Nowak does. But his decision, in theory, only will affect those restaurants in Buffalo that brought the action. It will have no impact on Rochester unless the state chooses to do something different at that point. If the state doesn't, or if the judge rules against us, then the action on behalf of the Rochester restaurants will start almost immediately next week, asking for the same quick relief to get these restaurants open before they all go out of business. It makes no sense to anybody that we've talked to that you would want to have a business closed when that business is not contributing to the viral transmission. It's probably actually helping because it provides a safer place for people to go and socialize. The facts seem to back that up, that the restaurants with all the COVID restrictions that they're putting in place in terms of masking and ventilation and plexiglass, social distancing, they're enforcing all of that, and presumably that means that's why there's no contact tracing with respect to any type of viral transmission. In fact, we filed affidavits at Buffalo. It looks like it's the same kind of Rochester for each individual restaurant, indicating that there has not been a single case of a COVID transmission coming from any of these restaurants, all 70 of them.
Wow.
Yeah, and then so it's like, why would you then? What purpose are you accomplishing by closing a restaurant down when they're doing nothing wrong? I know that the Constitution that we used to think applied has been, everybody's put it in a drawer. We're kind of living in somewhat of a dictatorship right now.
Yeah. No. So thank you so much for laying that out for us, Corey. Really appreciate that. We're gonna have to take a quick break right now, but thanks again for joining us, everyone, on A Free Solution. We're gonna be back in just a few minutes.
Don't be muzzled. AM 1040 Avon Rochester, FM 92.1 Rochester, and FM 95.5 Spencerport.
Here's the latest forecast from the News 10 NBC Weather Center for tonight. More clouds out there. We'll see those occasional lake effect light snow showers, maybe a little coating for some spots, lows around freezing. On your Thursday, again, a lot of clouds, maybe a few flurries in the air. Might get a little clearing late, temps in the 30s. Better chance for a few peaks of sun on Friday with temperatures near 30. I'm Rich Cadelia on WYSL.
Now is a great time to shop at Victor Chevrolet. Come see how easy it is to do business with us. Winter driving is safe and fun when you lease the 2020 Equinox front-wheel drive LS. Just $129 a month for 36 months. Or buy it for just $24,990. Or enjoy the versatility of a tough and roomy 2021 Silverado LST. Lease for only $229 a month for 36 months. Or buy it for just $43,990. Lease a 2020 Chevy Trax LS front-wheel drive for just $89 a month for 36 months. For Equinox, Trax, or Trailblazer, must have current lease and household. 10,000 miles per year. $2,500 cash or trade. First payment, tax, acquisition, and DMV fees are all due at signing for all leases. Would you prefer to buy? Save big when you buy a 2019 Trax LT all-wheel drive with convenience package, power drive seat, and keyless entry and start. MSRP $26,145. Buy it now for just $19,990. This winter, find new roads at Victor Chevrolet, Route 96 in Victor. Visit VictorChevrolet.com.
Hi, this is Gary Mervis. For over 40 years, Camp Good Days has been there for children and families in our community. It's been the most challenging year since our inception, which is why we are asking you to consider making tax-deductible donation. No family is ever prepared to hear that a loved one has been diagnosed with cancer. And despite the pandemic, these diagnoses are still happening. Your donation will help us to give families the opportunity to form special friendships and memories through our many programs and services. You can help us to continue to be there for every child and family who truly needs us. Will you help us to continue providing good days and special times to children and families in our community? Make a donation today by calling 585-624-5555 or by visiting our website at campgooddays.org. Thank you.
WYSL.
Hi, this is Joe Santani from the radio show Medicare U. Join me along with my partner Andrea Zaleski from T65 and Beyond every week as we explore the ins and outs of Medicare. We're your healthcare translators. If you're 65 or will be soon, you'll need this important Medicare information for the best coverage, best health, and best price. Medicare U, Tuesdays at 7:30 and Sundays at 1 on the WYSL stations.
WYSL.
Geneseo Hardware and Rental has a new expanded location on Route 28, east of the village of Geneseo. Over 6,000 square feet with a large selection of plumbing, electrical, home and garden, and much more. Geneseo Hardware offers Valspar paint, a wide selection of rental items, plus screen and window repair. Get personalized service at the new, bigger location. Geneseo Hardware and Rental, Route 28 next to Wegmans Plaza. Visit geneseo-rental.com.
Gift certificates now available.
G World, G World, G World. Take the room, own the room in your G World. Maybe why you're feeling so sexy, or why your hair's so messy. Perhaps you do some karate, or while you're sipping a latte. Take the room, own the room in your G World, G World. Lingerie, own it, own the planet. Available at Show World.
3 locations: Mount Read, Henrietta, and Waterloo.
This is the greatest game we've ever seen. 4th and inches on the goal line. Timeout. Hello?
Honey, we need help. The furnace won't turn on, and it's freezing in here.
What's up? Furnace died. No heat.
That's an easy call. Taylor Heating, 500 help.
Moments later. Okay, thanks. It's Taylor for the win. Now back to the game.
Touchdown!
Call Taylor. 500 help.
Remember, Scotty's Detail Auto Body for all of your body paint and collision repairs. And also remember, it's still the collision shop of your choice during that unfortunate time. Scotty's Detail Auto Body, Route 15 East Avon, just a quarter mile north of I-390, exit 9.
A free solution.
Welcome back to A Free Solution. I'm Kevin Wilson, your host for today. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for being here. We're here live on WYSL until 1 o'clock. And shout out down the line to our friends over at WACK out in Newark and WENY, the Patriot down in the Southern Tier. And, of course, our friends online on the Facebook page, on the Twitter, on my Twitter page. You can see it there, at Kevin Wilson ROC. And YouTube on Free Solution. Make sure you subscribe to that, folks, so you get those notifications. If you are someone who watches online, listens online, subscribe to those so you get the notifications when we go live and you don't miss an episode. You don't miss episodes like we had today, which, first half we were able to talk with Donald Swartz, a restaurant owner of Venito Restaurant, who is suing Governor Cuomo to try to make sure that him and his employees have a right to earn a living, and that they're able to follow the same safety protocols that they've developed over the last several months that have helped ensure that restaurants have a very low rate of transition. And we also had the attorney bringing the lawsuits as well. And it's wild to me that, what do you say, 70 restaurants out in Western New York, the people who are, the business owners who are impacted by this, and not a single case has come from those. Absolutely incredible. If we're following the science here, then if Governor Cuomo, he keeps saying, we'll follow the science, we're going to follow the science. If he's doing that, why can't he look at this data and say, okay, we got it wrong. Looks like we don't need this restriction. It doesn't make sense any longer. Maybe you can even say, we had a good reason for thinking this made sense. Fine. And now we're going to change the policy based on what we've seen, based on the evidence we have at hand. The rate of transmission for the virus at restaurants, and this is bars and restaurants together, is under 1.5%. It's incredibly low. And as Mr. Swartz pointed out, closing down restaurants in these areas is probably having an effect on more people having home gatherings. People want to go out. People want to do stuff. They want to be out, they want to socialize. Instead of going to restaurants where it's relatively safe, they're going and having home gatherings instead. So why isn't the governor following the science? Why isn't he following the data? Governor Cuomo needs to change his mind on this. So of course, this is what this lawsuit is meant to compel. It's meant to get Governor Cuomo to change his policy in these areas. And they've got to do it, kind of piecemeal, right? It's not, they've got to work with the restaurants who have standing and who are being impacted by these restrictions. So that's why he talked about there's a Western New York lawsuit, and that's going to be going to court, I think he said Friday afternoon. And then there is a new one in Rochester, and that's what they're having the conference about today. Matt on Facebook says, I heard 70 restaurants in Buffalo, but how many in Rochester? While I'm mostly concerned with Rochester, wouldn't every major city be following suit? You'd have to ask them that. And again, I wish they could have stayed on a bit longer so we could talk about that as well. But I imagine that in other areas, as they face restrictions, they'll probably do the same. And I'm not a lawyer. I don't know this stuff, so I don't know if they kind of have to wait until they get shut down to do that. But what I'm sure many business owners are hoping happens is that the governor just changes his policy statewide after the suit on Friday. That'd be great. That'd be ideal, but it might not happen. They might get relief just for Western New York, and then they have to do the Rochester suit. Who knows? So let's see. The other part of this too is that, in regard to the question too, that what you guys may have missed earlier, and again, I apologize for not putting the stream up for the first segment, is that they're still recruiting in Rochester too. They're trying to get more restaurants involved. They have a handful now, and I'm sure it's building up. And there's actually a couple of different groups of restaurants who are looking for ways to kind of document and verify that they are operating safely. And so it's interesting because the market's working here, because some customers aren't going to restaurants because they're going to be worried either way. It's not just a state thing, but the state isn't even giving restaurants an opportunity to prove their safety. It's just acting on its own. And again, I think this goes back to what I always talk about, which is that politicians want to look like they're doing something. This looks like Governor Cuomo is taking decisive action, and people love it when politicians take decisive action. And Governor Cuomo knows that. He knows that looking like he is doing something to solve a problem is more important than getting that solution right. It is one of the biggest flaws in our culture of politics. So he knows this. He knows he's going to get punished if something goes wrong more than hurting businesses by taking action. He knows that inaction can be more dangerous for him politically than action that's destructive. I don't, Matt's asking, how do you reach the attorney that was just on again? I don't know. If I can find that, info, I'll post that on the Free Solution page, and I'll post it on the Kevin Wilson page later. So thanks for the great questions in the comments. Guys, I always love when you leave comments for me. Please participate in the discussion. And if you want to call in now, phone lines are open, 585-346-3000. Again, 585-346-3000. Give us a call. Let us know what you think. Do you like this lawsuit? Do you like what Governor Cuomo's doing? Do we have any Governor Cuomo fans out there listening today? Probably not. I can't imagine he's too popular with this audience, but every once in a while, even I'll say he's right on some things. He's just not right on this. Or most things. Very, very few things. But I'm sure, I feel like I have praised him at least one or two times. Just not for this. He's terrible on this. Starting businesses. And not just the restaurants. As we discussed in the previous segment, not just the restaurants. It's all the stuff. The economy is a complex animal. There's so many facets to it. It ain't them. It's also the bread makers. There's the wine makers. All of the other stuff that these restaurants, these vendors that restaurants purchase from, it's hurting them too. So it not only impacts the people directly involved in the industry, the owners, the employees, the wait staff, the bartenders, all of them. it also impacts everyone else down the line as well. And we can lose some great resources in our community by the ongoing damage that Governor Cuomo is doing, despite evidence that it's not actually making a difference, and in fact, could be counterproductive. So, Governor Cuomo, I assume you're listening because, why not? Just change your mind on this. Just say, okay, we've looked at the data now. We are following the science. Let's let these restaurants open, even if it's under restricted conditions. I feel kind of gross begging for that, but even if it's under restricted conditions. But because the restaurants would do that anyway. As I was talking about earlier, a lot of these restaurants are looking for ways to make their safety standards known. The restaurants who haven't had any cases there are kind of publishing what they're doing, and there's a group of Rochester restaurants doing that. And they're trying to create their own safety rating system. And I would love to have someone from that group join the show to talk about what they're doing. We've had a couple business owners on before to talk about how they keep their employees safe. And I think the right approach to this isn't a top-down, ham-fisted approach that government takes. It's educating people, telling people to take precautions, because I think COVID's a legit concern for a lot of people. Take precautions. Let's figure out what works. Let's try to get people to do better. For restaurants who are having outbreaks happen there, okay, so maybe we need to take specific action against them. Fine. If they are a significant source of spread, then let's figure that out. But for all the restaurants where no cases are coming from there, why are we punishing them? Why are we hurting them? Why aren't we allowing them to figure out ways to keep us safe? They spread that knowledge. If they are already keeping people safe, let's make sure that other restaurants could do the same thing, so they can earn money. The business owners can earn money. The wait staff can earn money. The bartenders can earn money. So all their vendors can earn money too. So we don't have an even greater economic collapse than we've already seen from Governor Cuomo's and really every politician's destructive policies on our state. All right, when we're back, we'll wrap that up. Want to make a couple more points about the Bills thing, and then we'll be back in just a few minutes. Thanks again for joining us here on A Free Solution.
Businesses choose to move their website from Wix and Squarespace to SimpleTech Innovations? Maybe it's their excellent customer service or attention to detail. Maybe it's their ability to give a truly customized solution. Or perhaps they just like the fact that SimpleTech is a local small business that builds great relationships with its clients. Whatever the reason may be, you can rest assured knowing that the local team at SimpleTech has your best interest in mind when building or updating your website. They're hands-on and love helping customers achieve their goals. But don't take my word for it. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. If your website doesn't match your dreams or isn't achieving your goals, give the professionals at SimpleTech Innovations a call today for a consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. SimpleTech Innovations.
Hi, my name is Ryan Bourne.
And I'm Danica Bourne.
And we're the owners of South Coast Tax. We would like to thank our Lord for protecting us from evil. Psalm 91 states, "He is my refuge and my fortress, for he will rescue us from every trap and protect us from deadly disease."
South Coast Tax are Christian-based tax accountants and attorneys who specialize in releasing bank levies, wage garnishments, and filing complex tax returns. We are the leaders in acceptance of offers and compromise with awesome results.
We are also a small firm who will treat you like family and not just a number.
Call us today at 1-800-TAX-1176 for a free consultation, and we'll take the time to explain all of the programs that you qualify for in order to allow you a fresh start.
In John 8:36, so if the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed. And one way we can achieve that is by being debt-free. So let us help you today. Call us at 1-800-TAX-1176, and together we can help achieve this goal by putting the IRS tax debt behind you for good. Again, that number is 1-800-TAX-1176.
Your business relies on computers and technology to operate. Slow, unreliable networks and servers can cause unplanned downtime and affect your bottom line. The experts at Simple Tech Innovations are here to help. Their preventative maintenance program ensures that your computers and network are kept up to date and monitored for any issues, keeping your business running smoothly. They also help clients achieve HIPAA, PCI, and New York State cybersecurity compliance to keep your network safe and secure. Whatever your business IT needs are, Simple Tech Innovations should be your first call. They've won the Best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Call them today for a free consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. Simple Tech Innovations.
A free solution.
All right, welcome back to A Free Solution. And I'm told by my producer that this is an old, like, a Bill song. You know, I've only heard it from him, but, you know, so I'm a more recent Bills fan. I'll admit, like, the last, 7 years or so, I started getting into it. But I think we do have a call on the line, though. I think we have John the Optimist from Rochester. John, you still on the line?
Hey, Kevin. How are you?
Doing great. How you doing, John?
I'm doing good. Yeah, that song was from the 1980 version of the Bills when they, under Chuck Knox, they revived a terrible team up until 78-79. They won the AFC East and got in the playoffs for a couple of years there. They looked really good at one point. I thought they were going to really go on a run, but they did win the AFC East. I think it was 1980, and that's when the song was generated.
No kidding.
But
right,
but anyways, in fact, talking proud. Well, the guys in the parking lot used to say talking plowed. You know, with the shenanigans that go on there. But that's another story. but
what else is on your mind, John?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about Governor Cuomo. You know, it's surprising to me that he's following the wrong science. There's the Great Barrington Declaration was a meeting, probably through the internet and through Zoom, et cetera. But there were some epidemiologists and medical experts from Yale, Oxford, Stanford, whatever, put together this meeting of minds of experts, and there were like 35,000 doctors, some of which were epidemiologists and infectious disease doctors from some of the best universities in the world. There's 35,000 that signed on to this petition, which concluded, and plus there was another 500,000 of professionals of various disciplines. They concluded, this was in early October, that the lockdowns do more harm than the disease itself. And then shortly after that, the World Health Organization came out with a public statement which kind of backed that up. I don't know if they used that data as the reason they put together the public statement that the lockdowns do more harm than good. And the thing that really bothers me is where's the media to call Cuomo out on this? As an example, we got Democrat and Chronicle has two guys in Albany, John Campbell and Joe Spector. They're lapdogs for the governor. They will not point these things out, that this Great Barrington Declaration, as an example, and the World Health Organization's public statement. It's the media that's not doing their job again. It's unbelievable.
No, it is. I mean, and people should be asking the governor these questions about vaccine rollout, about restaurant policy, about the Bills policy, too. And, you know, in fact, we did a show on the Great Barrington Declaration a little while after it came out with Sean Hannon, and I'll repost that for anyone who hasn't heard that. But, yeah, like, people have to ask the governor tough questions, right? They have to ask, like, well, how is it that Florida has far fewer restrictions than us, a similar population, but they are doing better in terms of of hospitalization and in terms of death rate down there? How is it that their policy is so different, but the results are better?
Yeah, I'm waiting for those questions to be asked. I try to listen every day to his press conferences. I listened to part of it today, and I have not heard any questions like that. Like a simple question would be, why don't you follow what Governor DeSantis is doing down in Florida, or have you studied what Governor DeSantis is doing down in Florida? The questions don't come, and they're afraid of him. They're afraid of the governor.
They don't want to get shut out of the process, right? Like their job depends on the governor liking them enough to tolerate their presence.
That's a good point. That's an excellent point. And that goes for all the other issues that the press doesn't report on, and what they do report on. They're very partisan and very very biased. The Democrat and Chronicle definitely. I get the Buffalo News, and the Buffalo News uses New York Times and Washington Post for their federal data stories, and they are way to the left. The Washington Post and New York Times are terrible, but their local reporters in Buffalo are, I think, pretty fair. Now Rochester, they've got USA Today is very biased, and the problem is the local reporters in Rochester, the bulk of them, other than the sports guys, are very biased and to the left, and we do not get fair reporting, including Joe Spector and Campbell that do the Albany Bureau. And by the way, Kevin, I've been a season ticket holder since OJ played back right out of college. I bought season tickets when OJ played, and I've had season tickets ever since. Now, I was asked. I looked into buying tickets for the game Saturday, and when I found out that we have to get tested 2 to 3 days before, plus you've got to get interviewed for contact tracing, I go, no way, I'm going to put my name out there in this government bureaucracy. I'm just not going to do it.
I get that you're eligible and you didn't go. I might have put up with it. I don't like that stuff, but I probably would have put up with it to go.
I just decided I just don't trust the government, especially on the contact tracing issue, and it's just something I just refuse to do.
But John, without people like you there, who's going to boo Governor Cuomo when he comes into the station to the stadium?
Well, you've heard. Well, you're aware of the petition, I'm sure, because
which has about 40,000 signatures right now.
You're 40,000.
40,663.
Oh my God! The last I heard it was 9,000.
Yeah, no, it's gotten quite a few more since then. So I'm looking at it right now, and I posted the link, or I tried to post a link to the petition to my pages. I'll try to post that again. And yeah, so a lot of people are upset because a lot of people are like, and people like me, like I was saying in the first day, I go to the Miami game every year. My brother and my dad and some friends been going the last 5 years, and like, why couldn't I go to see the Bills blow out Miami last Sunday? Like we could have done that. We could have done it safely. They could have done instant testing too, and they could probably let more than 6,700 people in the stadium anyway. There's a lot of room there. We can spread out. It's outside.
Well, look at Dallas. Dallas had 30,000 fans at their last game, and it's a bigger stadium. They actually hold 100,000 in that stadium. They have a lot of standing room only areas, so they can seat and stand 100,000 people. But they had 30,000. So if you use that 30% for the Bills, you're talking over 20,000. They should be letting into that stadium. And I'd be curious to see if Dallas has any kind of testing other than taking temperature reads.
Yeah, I would be curious about that too. Or if they did any contact tracing, like did any cases come from that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why don't Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It'd be good to know. Although we are getting comments online too. Comment from Jericho says, "I would let a government official live with me for 14 days if it could mean going to the playoffs." I don't know if I'd go that far.
Well, I had to put my foot down. It's on principle, and plus, I've never had a flu shot. And I probably will not get the vaccine either because I've never had a flu. I can't remember the last time I ever had the flu, and let alone having a flu shot and whatever. So in the flu shots, their accuracy are as low as 30 or 40%. So what's the point?
Yeah, no, it's a big variation on those. I ended up getting mine for the first time this year in like 5 or 6 years because I have a newborn on the way, so I'm going to be a bit more careful about it. But yeah, I get it. But John, I only have a few seconds left. Anything else you have left to say before the show ends?
All I can say is we're going to Tampa, and it would be great to face Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Bucks in the Super Bowl. That would be phenomenal.
Oh, that'd be great.
That would be
so satisfying.
Have a good one. Go Buffalo.
All right. Thank you for joining us, John. Go Bills. All right. And thank you all for joining us here on A Free Solution. So glad you're with us today. I'll be back on Friday. I'm talking about fake news on Friday. The whole show on fake news. Make sure you listen in. It's going to be a good one. All right. Thanks again. Talk to you then.